finished a presentation for the faith-based security network around the breakout session that I'm going to do at the end of July at what they call the FBSN SOS Security Operations Summit. If you are not familiar with the faith-based security network, most commonly called the FBSN, I would encourage you to check out the organisation. Now, it's led by a good friend of mine called Carl Chin. I've known Carl for around 10 years now. He is one of the pioneers around church safety and security. He is very level-headed. The organisation is not just guns, 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 guns. The organisation is not too soft or too woke. They have the organisation just right, and they teach, they educate, and they bring community together. So for the FBSN SOS Security Operations Summit, which will be the last week in July of this year, you can go to FBSN America to register. I will be talking about the disruption that occurred at Cities Church in St. Paul, Minneapolis, or St. Paul, Minnesota, I should say, on Sunday, January the 18th, 2026. During this worship service, at least now 40 people have been federally indicted where they stormed a church during worship and disrupted that church in retaliation to what they perceived to be the heavy-handedness of ICE here in Minnesota, where at least 2 people have been killed. Now, it doesn't matter where you stand politically on these subjects. Were they murdered by ICE? Were ICE performing in the legal acts of their duties? What I'm going to do during my webinar is break down the who, what, where, when, why, and how. I'm going to use the video where Don Lemon, former CNN newsreader, journalist, was recording the event. I'm going to use all the live video to break the organisation or break the incident down to help you better understand how do we deal with protests. One of the early pieces of learning during this was the fact that it took law enforcement 45 minutes. You heard me right. It took law enforcement 45 minutes to arrive. Now, there's 2 narratives to this. Both, I believe, are to be true. When asked, the St. Paul Police Department said, well, we didn't want to come inside the church during the disruption and aggravate the situation further, so they waited outside in their vehicles. I think that could be believed to be true, and I think what also could be true is the fact that no one had dealt with such an incident before, so they didn't know how to respond, so they did what they felt was most natural to them, which is to wait outside and not enter the church. A key piece of learning is that if you're at your house of worship and you feel that the law enforcement are going to come and be your saviour, that may or may not happen. So it's really important that you have your own plan on how you're going to be successful. So I strongly encourage you, if you're not aware of the FBSN, the Faith-Based Security Network, I'd encourage you to learn more about the organisation, consider joining the organisation, and consider joining me at their national conference that we call the SOS, the Security Operations Summit, where I'll be breaking down the Cities Church case study minute by minute, hour by hour as it unfolded. I hope to see you there.